Hi there, my name is David. Welcome to my channel. Today what we're going to do is Intarsia, and let's see how it works. Today what we are doing is we're going to do Intarsia, and what I've done here already is I've pre-done the cast on, and basically we're going to do Intarsia, and I'm just going to show you in segments how it's done, so you can just have a closer look at it. I have looked at other videos, and I just wanted to make my own because I felt it wasn't detailed enough. So let's see how this works. What I've done is I've selected the number of needles that I'm going to use. So I'm basically going to do 3 colors of yarn, and I'm actually going to do a selection of 8 needles. So it comes to about 32 needles. So you just have to select the needles that you want. So here are my 8 needles that I start out with, and it's just a count of doing the kind of colors you want to do, and just selecting the needles that you want to do. So here I'm just going to make a sample, and I'm just going to do 3 colors, and basically what that's going to do is I'm going to be just using the 3 colors, and it'll be on a selection of 8 needles per color. It's really quite easy to do. It's nothing very complicated. You just got to watch your rows and check your tensions, and also make sure your latches are open. And I will go into the next step after the cast on to do the Intarsia. These are the 2 colors I'm gonna work extra with. This is the actual other color that I'm working, so I'm just working with these 3 colors just to see how they blend. I'm just trying to figure out how I want the colors to look, and just to just figure it out how I want it to be. I'm basically just using a double knit here. The reason why I'm doing a double knit is I just wanted to just see the gaps in between the knitting, so I can just make sure that I do the technique properly. And with the double knit, I can just just check any holes or any loops or anything that needs to be sorted. I have placed the 2 colors on the ground, the 2 contrasts that I'm going to use, and basically this is just for me to set up the Intarsia, and also to set up the yarn that I'm going to, the colors that I'm going to be using. You just have to decide what colors you want to use. I'm just using some temporary yarns that I found, and just to see how this Intarsia works. What you're going to do now is you're going to take the yarn out of the carriage. Like so, and this is what you're going to just put at the edge, and you are going to change the dial and put it to part, like so. And that's the first operation you do when you do Intarsia. Basically what you'll be doing now is you're taking this yarn that you're going to be used. This is also the cast yarn, but this is also one of the 3 colors. And basically what you're going to do is just put that next to the colors that you will be using. It is really quite easy to do, and all you have to do is just get how you're going to get those colors working. Here I've chosen colors that are very much together, and let's see what it looks like when we do the Intarsia. I just wanted to mention I'm using 4 yarns, and here is the lever on part. This is your first step to the knitting. What you're going to do is slide the carriage over. Just make sure that it's on the position of part. It doesn't matter what stitch length it is, and just go over by 1 row. As you can see, it did not knit, and that's the first process of doing the Intarsia. What you're going to do now is you're going to change your levers, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this dial and you're going to switch it over to Intarsia. That's the Intarsia section of the machine knitting, and that's what you do for the next piece of the new Intarsia. What you're going to do is you're going to move your carriage over to the left hand side, and this will position your needles into Intarsia. As you can see, the needles have come up. They've come up into the position that is for Intarsia. And when the needles come up, just double check that the needles are lying flat and that the yarn is sitting behind the latch. So you can just make sure that that's what it's doing. I just wanted to show a close-up view of what's going on the needles. At the top here you can see little grooves that have actually show the position of where the Intarsia needles should be. So if one of these needles is not in the right position, you need to know that when you do Intarsia, these little grooves that are here show the position of where the needles need to be. Over here I just wanted to show that the latches are you can see that the latch is behind, that the yarn has gone over past the latch, and that the yarn must actually be behind the actual latch. So when you do your Intarsia, you just need to check that that yarn is behind the latch, and that just shows you how this is positioned. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay the first yarn over the needles, and this will be the first part of when you overlay the yarns. And that's basically when you do your first yarn. Here I am doing 8 needles. Just positioning the yarn just to make sure it's there, and then the next yarn that I'm going to lay over is a different color, and that will also be the next amount of needles that I'm going to do. I wasn't too sure about how this was going to work. When I did this first row, I did feel that maybe it would form a hole, because you can see you haven't wrapped the yarns around. So, but I'm doing the method that's in the instruction book. So this is what was shown, and I will just show you what's in the instruction book. So those are the next needles that I need to put over, and that's how you start off your Intarsia. What I've done is I actually added more extra needles on the end here, because I decided, well, what I was going to do is I'm going to do the same color as the beginning and the same color as the end. So I've added 8 more stitches to this. I just changed it, and this is what's going to be happening. I'm actually working with 4 yarns altogether, so this is just an added yarn. I just felt that it needed a little bit more even space. The yarn wasn't the colors. I wanted just to do a little bit of the contrast, but also to create a sort of pattern so we could see something of interest. What the pattern says is I must hold the yarns very lightly onto this first stitch, and just to make sure that you do the way the needles, how they should be done. I just made a little mistake here. Let me fix that. So just always check how your yarns are, and check that they set in the correct manner. Here you can see that's all done. It's all been fixed, and it's all been sorted. Just make sure your position of your needles are pretty accurate, and make sure your latches are open. And let's see and do the very first row. Here I am going to do the very first row, and let's see what happens. Well, I've done my first row of it, and it looks like it's done the work that I hoped it would do. What the instructions say now is that you take the yarn over and you move it across like so to do those stitches that you want. And then what you do is you take the longer yarn that you're working from and you twist it around, and you do the next batch of needles like so. And this is how you need to do the intarsia. You need to do a cross around because it prevents from making holes in the pattern. So you do it with the next yarn as well. You just make sure you've got your long one, and I normally put it underneath and put it over the top to form where the next patterns need to go. And that's basically what I do for the intarsia. It actually does a crossover, and you think, well, it's going to be in a knot, but actually when you do it the reverse way, it undoes its knot. So basically it does an overlap, and you think, well, it's going to end up being a knot, but actually when you do the reverse way, when you come back again, it just undoes that knot, and you're able to continue with the intarsia without it getting tangled. Here you can see the knot. I just wanted to show a close-up of it, but it's not actually a knot, it's more just like an overlap. But when you come back over this side from that side, it should unravel the knot and it should be untangled, and then you start the process again. So here I've done, this is on my actual third row of doing intarsia, and you just hold it the same way again, and just make sure you've got the stitches in the right position. And I'm going to do another row of intarsia. Here I've done my second, or should I say my third row, and this is what it looks like. And basically this is your intarsia, and I'm just going to do a number of more stitches, and we will see what the final result looks like. A small tip to do is those yarns that you started out with that you're not using, it's actually a good idea to put them together. What I've done is I've just used a clip here, and what I'm doing is I'm just pushing those to the back. These are yarns that I'm not using, and basically these 4 yarns that I've got in the front, these 4 yarns, these are the yarns that I'll be using. So just get rid of those starter yarns and just push them to the back, and then you know exactly what yarns you have to work with. So here I just wanted to show just one last segment of this, and just to show you what I'm doing here. As you can see, I've just managed to get this thing moving, and I'm just moving this over a little bit. And What I'm going to do now is just show you how you put the yarns over. And then from underneath, go with the yarns that you're working with. This is the yarn you're working with, and this is for your next row of doing your intarsia. Just get those 4 yarns together so you hold them, and then this is where you push the carriage over, and that's that will be your intarsia. Just make sure that everything is set up and that nothing is overlaid and that your latches are open, and you do your next set of your next row of intarsia. And there you go, and then you start again from left to right. Here I am, I'm just finishing off the machine knitting. This has come to end, and now we're going to look at the front of the knitting. Well, this is the intarsia that I've done. I just tried this. I've never done it before on this machine. I made a number of mistakes, but overall it came out really well. It gives me an idea. Here it was very neat. Yeah, not so neat. And but overall it worked out okay. So it's just a case of practicing. Here I did change the needle size, but here I got it really right from about this row onwards, and I got this section pretty correct. I'm not sure about the bottoms here. Did make holes, so I've got to have a look at that and see how that will work. But overall, this has worked out really well. I'm quite pleased with it, and I'll just be practicing to make it perfect. Well, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked this and found it useful. So I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave a comment, and I will be looking at the next video soon.